Welcome back everyone to KCD2, where we are still Godwin. We are still here in Robosh at the meeting. And we need to talk to Lady Anna of Waldstein, Haman the Elder, and Sir Bocek of House Kunstadt. We need to, persuade them that it is a good idea to, support John Liechtenstein's plan. Hi, Hans. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Lady Anna.
God be
Hi.
with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
Yeah.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's the right place, but...
Who did you learn from? In my experience, women usually learn other skills.
I acquired the basics from my husband. God rest his soul. And the rest I learnt quickly, as soon as others started sniffing around his estate. So,
Needs must, eh?
what is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more. I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Your wealth needs protection. Sigismund will not take revenge on a... Well, I doubt it.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands. Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
Okay.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
Oh, okay, I see. And those fake papers?
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents.
Oh,
If the
okay.
incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
So instead they're going to incriminate your husband's family, I assume, instead of you. Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Okay. Well, let's see about that. Down there, eh? Shouldn't be that difficult.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by...
Bum bum bum. Close the door. Where's the saddlebags? Switch papers. Voila.
What brings you here?
Wrong door. I was looking for the privy. La 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 la.
Oh, nothing.
Okay, easy as pie. Lady Anna.
Got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
Yeah.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Where did he just... Is there a cup standing here? Yeah, wine. Okay, he probably just took that cup. Okay, so that's Lady Anna in the bag, and it's a rather one-sided deal. I mean, she's giving all her money and everything, and all we had to do was, you know, stroll down there and switch some papers. Okay. Bum bum bum. What else do we have here? Or who else do we have here? Noble Konrad Fechter. Hi.
Sir, I don't believe I've had the honor.
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Fechter. And you are the heir to the Lord of Rabosh, are you not?
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me.
Somewhat disowned me.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the king decided to replace me.
Huh.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet. It's true that displeasure against the king is noticeably growing in Kuttenberg, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be risking my future, if not my life.
Yeah, I doubt that he'll ever get his position back. At least as long as Sigismund is in power here in Bohemia.
We've got quite a bit in common, wouldn't you say?
More than you think. If my memory doesn't deceive me, you serve as a parish priest. So I recollect, at least, from my recent discussions with Martin.
Served.
Yeah.
That's in the past.
Even so. Before King Wenceslas appointed me his mint master, I was a priest. I was even being groomed to become a bishop.
And now look at us. We have cast off our robes and merrily hatched plots against Sigismund.
There's no point in waiting for divine intervention. On the contrary, the current state of affairs demands quite a secular approach.
Do you think you might get your position as Mint Master back again?
I doubt it. Half the town hates Vavak, but no one would even think of saying a word against him. And he knows that his security stands and falls with his function, so he clings to it tooth and nail.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
New codex entry, okay. Konrad of Fechter. Konrad of Fechter had a rather illustrious career. He started as a priest, but because he was skilled in handling finances, he entered the services of King Wenceslas IV and was a member of the Royal Council from 1398 to 1400. Later, he was appointed the Royal Mint Master and also held the offices of the Bishop of Verden and Olomouc and even Archbishop of Prague. Okay. Alright. Another noble.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
I'd say you had enough.
He's a great lord.
But say, why? Why is our nourishment level so high? Or is the wine nourishing us? We have none on our person, so can't check, but maybe the wine. Yeah. Christopher Odrin. Hi. You're my nephew or something?
I'll have a jug of wine.
Kunslin Ruthard.
Ha! Even
Oh,
better.
bugger.
But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
Apologize?
I'll talk to you later, Father.
Father?
This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first.
He looks
What is
more
it
like
you
his
want?
brother.
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
Why so
No.
strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Wow. Wow.
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your
Yeah, I doubt
whores
that.
wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
Dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
Oh.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Whoa, okay. Wait. Chill. Everyone chill. What? So... You're... the brother? Then? Not the nephew? Yeah.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
Exactly.
You've got no other option. You insulted father's honor.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, brother, okay.
surely there's no need for violence.
Younger brother, apparently.
I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson. And he's
What
got
a
plenty to learn
father
from
are you?
Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get
Playing
nothing but
out
shame.
one son
As
against
always.
the other? What the frick?
Suit yourself then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
What an asshole.
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just
What
settle
an
a very private
ass.
matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your legs?
Fuck you. Enough. That will do.
Okay. Oh,
My God. Why did you
was
learn
quick.
to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer.
yeah, don't
If you
trust
could teach sword fighting
everything
in school,
he's saying. The countryside is tough, man.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because
What?
I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting,
Oh,
he let me starve for
Man.
3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
jeez, man. The kind of psychological damage parents like that can inflict on children. Oh man, don't let me get into this. Jeez. And all the boozing and whoring and Godwin admits to. I mean, that was probably subconscious, just a cry for attention, for some love from his father. Jeez. Yeah.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure.
Okay.
But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, well, you're my brother, so what can go wrong?
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
Okay.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Yeah. Well, at least not the whole family is rotten. Okay, yeah, but jeez. Wow. No wonder Godwin, took off and hasn't returned back home up until now. Wow. God. And we can't talk with any of you. Already talked to you guys. Servant Dasher. Can't talk to you though. Matilda of Slavy Tits. Okay.
Good day.
Helena of what? Nope. Helena of Dvorets. Okay. Christina of Nositz. None of you ladies want to talk to us. Well, I'll take that personal. I'll remember that. Oh, another magic trick. Nice, nice.
I reckon luck was on my side.
Must be
a bring back a lot more wood.
trick of soldiers at the time. What's down here? Anyone down here? No one here to talk to. Oh, a copper plate. Yeah, but no.
More concerned about things will start going sour.
Fuck the Germans.
I beg.
Fuck Sigismund.
Exactly.
Jeez, buddy. You had one too many.
Because of the likes of you.
Oh boy. Okay, dice. Got noble. Jum.
Didn't you get
Kunstadt.
The rest of it isn't my problem, Shishka. I didn't come here to argue with another Kunstadt.
Noble.
Dry devil is enough. You two sound like an old married couple. You argue all the time that you couldn't live without each other. And he hasn't even greeted his own cousin yet. Tell me, what did Hinnock ever do for his house? He certainly doesn't sully its name by conspiring with the merchants.
Okay, let me step in there. Shishka, we haven't talked yet, so...
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
Well...
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he going to do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe
Yeah,
on
but
the field
we're
of
not
battle?
talking with Sigismund here, are we? We're talking with other people.
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer.
Yeah.
Ever since leaving Rattay, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can
From
always
one
count on
cell
him
to
for.
another.
I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
So, Bocek of Kunstadt. Sorry, we had to interrupt their conversation because Zizka was apparently antagonizing Bocek. Kind of. Lady, can you Elishka, can you maybe, serve the drink and then bugger off? We need to talk to him. All right. Bocek.
Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to
Yeah,
put a flea
I'm
in his
sorry
ear.
about that.
Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary,
Yeah, funny you mentioned
I've
the
come
plan.
here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
Well,
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics, then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Really? Well, let's see about it, then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Well, all right. Yeah, we'll bite the bullet.
The honor to oblige. I'm in my prime.
Forget about it. Even if by some miracle you could manage to sire children, you'd die before you could raise them.
The truth doesn't offend, my lord. But I had to give it a try.
Yeah. But still, how old is Godwin, actually? I mean, his younger brother seems to be early 20s, maybe? Late teens, early 20s? Oh well.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't read... That was the third option? I didn't read that. I didn't... I just saw how about us and went for it. Wow, okay. Yeah, he's young, but not inexperienced.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Oh man. Oh wow. We're really tying the knot for Capon here.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Okay.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom.
Yeah.
Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop
And what a
dilly-dallying
sacrifice it
and
will be
go
for
and tell
Hans.
Hanush.
Oh man. Hans. Can we... Before we go and talk to Hanush,
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with two young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married. Hey!
You're going to get married.
Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hanush hears this.
Yeah.
Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
Yeah. Your health, at least.
Your health.
Where did Godwin pull out that? Okay. Let's not discuss the origins of the of the goblet from which I just drank. Hanush. Okay, so yeah, we're actually doing this.
A nightingale, sir.
Sir Hanush, I bring...
You do?
Oh, bugger.
Let's hear it then.
Have you heard the good news?
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
Yay!
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You
Okay.
misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that?
Yeah.
With who?
With the niece of Sir Bocek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yidka.
Bocek of Kunstadt?
Mm-hmm.
The Bocek of Kunstadt?
The very same.
Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If
Yeah.
you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or
Okay.
you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a
Well, it
wedding.
was worth a try.
Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Nice. Okay. Yeah, well, cheers.
Cheers to you. And to your parlaying skills.
Oh, yeah. Call us Tinder Godwin. All right. All right. I think, well, I think that's it. Get the support from Bocek of Kunstadt. So, yeah, well, right. We need to tell him the good news.
Sticking to ale.
Ilishka, we talked about this. You can't just hog Bocek for yourself.
You know how I went
Go on.
Well, I brought home...
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yidka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you,
Nice.
Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Sure. I mean, we can't, yeah.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yidka.
We'll
and
be
the
so drunk.
unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Yeah, oh man. Hands got sold like a piece of meat. Alright, cool. Well, that's that deal in the bag. There we are. Hi, fellas. Maybe you're right. It was probably not the best idea to gather the lords under one roof.
At other times, I would celebrate hearing you admit a mistake, Margrave.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were you, I wouldn't lose faith just yet. Sometimes all you need to do is send the right man to whisper the right words into the right ears.
You mean you managed to convince someone?
Not
Someone
at all.
influential?
I manage nothing. But I have found someone who could
Is that-
pull
are we getting
from
pushed
our
around?
side
No, we're
and
just
get
too
some
drunk.
influential people to join our cause.
And who is this secret envoy? That will be us, sir.
I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink.
Another one.
So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
Okay.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the verbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
Nice.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Yay! Oh man, poor Hans. Oh boy. Oh, the poor lamb.
Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. He's actually the only real casualty. I mean, if you count marriage as a huge sacrifice, but I mean, he never saw her. He doesn't know her. It's a shot in the dark, basically, for him. Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, Kuttenberg City Hall. Here we go. Let's hope we are still incognito and Owlitz hasn't made us out yet. Henry, staring at him doesn't help.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted.
Okay.
And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything.
What
the city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see,
the...
all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You... don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here.
Oh, bugger.
Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them?
Yes, you were.
And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh. Rightfully so. These councils...
Let's stand behind Marquardt.
You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know.
Jeez.
Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
Yeah.
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine.
Okay, that's the red one, right? Yeah.
We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Yep.
I think Jobst
Already
is
on
just
it.
waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret.
Okay, here we go. Will Marquardt ask for wine?
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
Yeah,
Your health, your majesty.
we poured your wine without spilling a drop. We can be proud of that.
First, you need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily.
Bugger.
Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
Yeah.
No?
No?
We shall have white.
Okay.
Had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
Yeah, sure.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
What did... Okay, yeah. Apparently we're pulling goblets out of our asses. Wow, okay, shoot. So... They're all in danger. They're all in danger. Wow. We are real. Wow. Samuel. We can't talk to anyone. Apparently, we're too drunk. Wow. Do we have... We don't have any hair of the dog or something like that, right? Godwin. How could you?
The King Wenceslas.
Yeah, they're all drunk. This will be a slaughter once von Berghoff and his troops arrive. Can we already see any of them? No? Okay. So...
I still can't wait for that king.
Bugger. What is our actual objective here right now? Celebrate with the guests. Optional. Talk to Liechtenstein. Alright, well then... Exactly. Prepare bellum.
Anyway, I will just call you Ramon.
All of them have... All of us have trouble with your name, buddy.
How'd you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France.
Yeah.
Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste.
Of course.
The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
Exactly. France is totally lost without you.
So you're not too keen on our stuff?
Come on, dear. Let us say you still have much work ahead. If you try hard, you may have some decent wine to celebrate the second coming of Christ. Give me 100 nights in a row.
Okay, guys, tell you what, let's take a break here. And when we come back, we will continue celebrating with the guests and try to find Liechtenstein in order to talk to him. And maybe, just maybe, we will make it out of this trap alive. So yeah, wish us luck. And until next time, bye.